What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Magic Internet Money. Gonna get you guys a couple videos today. Gonna do a Bitcoin video a little bit later. Gonna do an Ethereum video a little bit later. But today we are gonna talk about XRP. The reason I'm separating the videos is I'm gonna spend a little more time on them with you. We're gonna talk about the high time frames. We're gonna talk about a little bit about these medium time frames, the daily, low time frame, whatever you want to call it. And stick around. I think you guys are gonna like what we go over today. The goal is to teach you something new every day. And yeah, so if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe for regular content, and let's go ahead and jump right into price action. So if you aren't new to the channel, this is a chart you've seen before. You understand how we got these range point of control, how we got this range all together, and a lot about this Fibonacci, right? So this Fibonacci is coming from the 51-cent high all the way down to the 10-cent low here on Bybit. And from there, we've pulled and found that the 382 from this level is operating as basically a neckline for this what looks like inverse head and shoulders. Need to see that break. Target on that is about 29.30 cents. Really want to see this 31-cent region taken out, though. Not just taken out, but closed above. Okay, so that's going to be the area of interest beyond this, and then from there, 35, obviously 37, 40 cents. So the areas from there you can incrementally mark it up. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you guys more of a deep dive on the high time frames and really break down XRP and what price movement will look like should we get these macro changes in behavior. So if you're excited about that, great. If you're not excited about that because you don't like XRP, you probably bought the top. A lot of people did. Or you just think it's in a liquid shitcoin, which a lot of projects are. So I can't blame you there. But if you guys do not like money, go ahead and turn the video off because I'm going to show you how to trade this thing. So I would stick around if I were you. I trade a lot of coins that I do not care about. So that being said, guys, this is XRP on the weekly on Bitstamp. If we go out to a monthly, you can see why I don't really want to use the monthly. There's really nothing here. There's really only one or two levels on the monthly that really even matter. It looks like 26 cents here, which is actually what's holding us down, which if we can break above that, like I said, we're targeting that 30-cent region, 29 to 30 cents, give or take. And then maybe this level right here, right around 16 cents, which makes sense if we, take a look at it, in terms of lower time frames, right? So if you get down into this region, it's like 16 cent, you can see how there's a lot of support even on the weekly. But we're going to start out with a very generic Fibonacci pull, and I'm going to give you guys a good idea of what you should be looking for confirmation wise, because this is a channel for traders to determine these big moves that everyone has been so patiently waiting on for so long. By the way, guys, I do have two kids, 5 and 7, and a very needy small dog. So if there's any noise in the background, I do apologize. I'm trying to keep it to a dull roar, so to speak, but it is a Saturday, and so Saturdays are for the kids. But I'm going to get through this video. We're going to soldier on, I promise. That said, we've got our Fibonacci pull-up, and it's just from our all-time high to the current 11-cent low here on Bitstamp. And there's really only one thing on here that sticks out to me right off the bat, is that 50 cents is huge, which is our current high that we're saying we need to get above for the macro change of behavior, which is 100% accurate because you've got weeklies where you got a weekly low, high, and what appeared to be a higher low, but you made a lower high. Then you ended up doing what you do, you made a lower low, and we're just making a lower high here. And are we going to put in a higher low? That's the question. Can we get a higher low out of this? And if we can get a higher low, can we get a higher high? And then instead of this being a downtrend, we have formed an uptrend. And you've got this nice rounding bottom at that point, just from here all the way down. And we get this, we get this maybe a parabola or something like that if we're lucky. So that being said, guys, there is only one other level besides 50 cents that really sticks out, and it should be just glaring you right in the face. It's this 86-cent level, not just because it's a Fibonacci, but because the only order block on here that matters to me is this one. That's it, to be upfront with you. I don't see any others that I really care about, and I'm going to mark it off, even though we've got a fib there to remind us, because this is really a range right here. This being such a thin, this is a really important time for XRP, I think, just based on how small this order block actually is. If I can get my mouse to work, you guys will appreciate it, I think. There we go. So there's your order block. So 86 cents. How do we get above that? Let's talk about it. Breaking 50 cents here would be a macro change of behavior. That's really all there is to it, guys. We got to get above 50 cents. In order to do that, you got to get above this inverse head and shoulders right here. Okay. Got to take this out. Got to start closing above it on a weekly basis. From there, it's a quick trip to 50 cents. It's that simple. You get above 34 cents. I mean, even if you wanted to bring it down and say, okay, well, we just got to close above, 30 cents. I would bring that up. I would challenge that to here. I would say, 30.5, 31 cent on a weekly closure is a change of behavior. And if we go back to our daily chart, so this is a weekly chart, remember that, they're different time frames. Where is our 50 cent to low 0.5 coming in at? About 31 cents. Remember, we're rounding up because we like confirmations on this channel. And it's also the current range, which we established in the first video on XRP, which was about 2 videos ago. So if you guys are a little behind in this, just go back and watch the last couple videos. I think I pick up XRP around 9 minutes in on them, and I'll give you guys some really good analysis on it and how we got to these local levels to tell us it was a good time to take entry. All right. So, but this just reconfirming the area, nice and confluence area. Anything over probably 31 cents for me, because I'm a little more cautious than most, tells me that we've got a macro change of behavior. I want to see that on a weekly time frame. I want to see that hold. And then from there, guys, we do have the measured move of this to 50 cents. All right. So we're looking up to the .133 at that point. You guys know how much I like it. You can see how well respected it is on this chart. Didn't even touch it right here before we bounced. Came back down, bounced again. Swing failed below, got a nice push up back to $1 again. And again, this is a huge battle right here. This was a psychological level, in my opinion, for that dollar region, and bulls lost. And then you can see what happened after that. Confirmed it, came down, never even came back up to retest that. So this is going to be a really, really key area for bulls. Now, I imagine this one's probably going to play a role too, somewhere in this region. But it's not something I'm too concerned with. I think that if I had to guess, just looking at this chart, I would say somewhere around 64 cents is going to be an area of interest. But, we'll figure that out as we go. But I think, yeah, I mean, after you get to 50 cents, there's pit stops along the way. You're not going to just go straight to 86 cents, but I do think the move would be fairly quick. I think pit stop would be obviously that 54-cent mark, just because it's the high of the candle, or the .133 on the exact. But then you've got an order block here. It's not the most important one, but it's definitely important. It's going to be an area of interest, I think, in the 64-cent region. I do think that's going to be something that we need to keep an eye on, and I think this wick will actually help us tell us that. I think that this will be, yeah, 64 on the dot. So we'll keep that in mind going forward. All right, so change of behavior, anything over 50 cents, right? That's what we're looking for. Right after a closure of 31 cent, then we want to see 50 cents. Well, 46 taken out. If you take a look at this right here, it's really about 46. Get a weekly closure over 46. I would then just expect us to come up here to 54 cents. Could we reject there? Sure, but I bet we'd at least come up to that 64-cent region before we did that. So I want to see that change of behavior on a weekly. Want to see us claim this level, maybe even consolidate around this 50-cent region before making that push up. Come up here, test 64 cents, put in a range, and then make a move up, kind of like Bitcoin does. Just XRPs, the ranges are going to be a little bit shorter than Bitcoin's, in my opinion. So yeah, and then 86 cents. If you can get up over $1, obviously, from there, I mean, you're just looking at fib targets because you don't really have anything to go off of. You just be looking at the $1.33, $1.71, so forth and so forth. What I want to know is volume profile. So there's a couple areas that you want to know, right? So I want to know the overall, first of all. I want to see exactly what this looks like from the time of inception to now. And I want to adjust this because I don't want this histogram box on. And I definitely need to make the point of control a little less thick because she's thick. All right, guys. So you can see we are above the overall point of control for the asset in its short life. And that's coming in about 19 cents. And that is a big deal. It's your highest value node there. I would imagine if we cut this price action out, that your point of control is also your low, which we've seen before in Bitcoin, actually. It's not something that is uncommon. But this isn't telling me a whole lot here. It is telling me that I am correct in assuming a change in behavior if we can close weeklies above this. So if we take a look here, we'll just use this. So it's always good to get these confirmations. Whoa, 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 what's going on here? There we go. Oh, I've got the magnet on. That's my mistake. So this is your current range. You can see how well it gets it. Really want to see a closure above this one because we don't have any in there. You'd be putting a lot of pressure on the upper side of this region. Also, if you recall from this chart right here, we would also be over this overall range low where I took a 50 cent to the current price action. This is your range. You would be above that point of control, right? So there are multiple point of controls. They all kind of mean something different based on how you're trading an asset. And so you got to keep that in mind. You do have an overall one down below, really strong support, it looks like. But I really want to see a weekly closure above 31 cents. And then I would just expect us to probably come through this region right here. One, it looks like a reversal pattern. And two, it's not exactly a huge high value node, and we have tapped it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this would be the 7th time. So I would expect we break that. Let's take a peek at what it looks like if we exclude some data and we start doing a few more custom pulls. Let's go ahead and get that show rolling. See if this tells me anything. Not really. The range is pretty much the same. So I do like this range a little bit better. I'm going to change this and move it. I think it's more relevant. I don't think that this is as important, this area, as important as... All right, sorry, I had to go see what the kids were up to. They're making a little noise. Make sure that, you know, they're playing nice, that kind of thing. But yeah, I like this range more. Mainly because I don't think this price action is as important. You do have a really sweet order block in this region, though. This is a really nice one. You can see how well it's actually, we're trying to flip that right now and doing a pretty good job. So that's what you want to see. Yeah, I would leave it like this. I would prefer to leave it like this, and I can delete this line, and this is more indicative where I need that close, 31.5 cents. So yeah, I mean, I would switch this bias right here. It's hard to flip it, but I would almost switch it to just to clean it up, 31.5 cents on a weekly closure. So that's not to hop all around on you guys. It's just the more information that we gather as we're doing this. It's just how our hypothesis is probably going to change a little bit. So and then from there, I'm targeting 46 cents is what I want to see a closure above, but I'd really be looking up to at least 54 cents, probably 64 cents at that point. I think that's where we'd head. Let's take a look at some more data. Let's pull this down into here because this is when we entered into that range at the lows. See if this is of use. And actually the point of control is coming in that order block. It's coming in at 67 cents. So I was a little off. I was thinking 64, but 67 is all right. So yeah, I mean, if we take out this 46 cent region, which is coming in right here at the value area low. So let's go ahead and dial that range up. And big range, real big range here, guys. Huge range. All right, so order block, pretty key. It's coming in very close to the median of the range. I do still think it's going to be a very, very important level, but your overall point of control from your high down to before breaking down into this region, yeah, coming in at 64 cents. Okay, let's see if that changes at all if we move this. Let's move it a little bit. It puts it up in that region. Okay, that is interesting. Let's see here. This is where we really lost it. Value area high of that would be, oh wow, yeah, so this, I'm gonna delete this channel. So doing a little bit different things right now. And so you're seeing me do a lot of different pulls, and that's not to confuse you. And so I'm using the all-time high, first of all, as my reference point. So that is my standard, all right? So I'm gonna use that point as, that's the fixed variable in this whole thing. I'm not gonna change that really right now. What I did was I looked for, okay, when did we come down and form lows, to now I'm looking at, all right, when did we really formally lose this region and get stuck underneath here in this range, which is where we're at now. And this is really great because not only do we get the breakdown point here where that happens, the point of control is coming in there. And so this is just such a crucial level here, like 31 cents, 31 and a half cents. Point of control there, really nice high value node. That's from your high to the breakdown into this region when we found acceptance into this lower range. With the value area high lining up with the overall point of control, basically from when we pulled the high to current price action, basically 67 cents I think is what came in, and we're at 65 on the value area high. So it tells me that that 64 to 67 region is probably going to get tapped should we get above this area. I think that is something that we can look for. I think we're going to come up to that 46 cent region, barring any setbacks. We could claim that, and if we can claim 46 and 50 cents, I think that 67 is likely, and then immediately up to 86 cents. That's how I would be trading it. So let's map those areas out. And actually, I want to leave this up because I'm going to pull it back into this region. I like this pull. Yeah, this is telling me the real high value node is coming in here at about that 50 cent area, not just a 46. But if you get a weekly closure here, that would look good. And if we go from there to there, when we lost that 50 cent region, or when we bounce, let's see. This is when we lost it right here. It's not really telling me anything. Okay, so this is what we know. Need to get above 31 and a half cent on a weekly. If we can do that, definitely going to probably see this 46 cent region. I think that's just easily, this is going to be a very easy move where we essentially double the price from where we are now. I do think that that's in the cards. You've got a very obvious reversal pattern, barring anything from Bitcoin. My personal opinion is claim this level. We are looking up to 46 to 64 cents. I think we could put in some form of a range there. Basically, coming up here, doing this, getting up to this level, and then coming down and doing one of these before, moving up. And this isn't an accurate timeline. Don't think it's going to take to 2022. It probably won't, but you never know. But I'm just giving you guys an accurate depiction of what XRP could be doing. And then basically we're looking up to this region and we repeat the process. Can we form a range, or is it going to be a rejection? Obviously, what everybody needs to know is, where's my golden pocket? Golden pocket's all the way at $2, right? So, I mean, this thing could run all the way to $2 at some point. But getting above this $1 region is going to be a pretty big test. One thing that we know about XRP is it runs really hard when it does run, but it doesn't actually run until Bitcoin, it seems like, is topped out. So we could be waiting for Bitcoin. But I think getting a foothold now and getting some long-term positions, because I am of the belief that we are going to see a potential change in macro behavior. And so getting in early is a good idea, because this is going to give you the advantage of watching these levels play out like we just talked about, seeing the importance of them, and then determining when, how you want to unload as it goes up. Like, you might not want to unload all of your bags at 86 cents. That might not be something that's a good idea. The main reason being is, even though you bought down here and it is a 4x, it's 400%. So you can expect that if it goes up 4x from where it is now, well, three and some change, you're going to want to at least take some profits. You don't want to just leave all that money in there unless you're one of those that are just like, I'm going to hold XRP till it's $20 or $30. I'm not going to sit here and give you guys those moon boy cycle targets, but I am going to give you guys very realistic targets that at 236, retracement up to about $1 because it's just such a psychological level. I would say is well in the cards within the next, 6 months, three to 6 months. I mean, it may be sooner. Because if this thing kicks off and takes this level out, I mean, this could escalate fairly quickly. Um, but I mean, realistically, I mean, a couple months maybe, and we could see something like that. I would want to see it sooner than later, probably, but this is setting up for a pretty good, bounce up. So XRP looks good in my opinion. Um, let's take one more look. All right, so I paused the video because I'm looking for ranges right now. And so what I do like is this one right here showing that basically if we can claim 46 cents, we would find our way back into this region where we fell below the 236 and 86 cent level. And then we ranged until we lost that level, right? We tried to regain it and we failed. But we did come down here. And so I went ahead and capped data right here because this is about the time, we started struggling. So if we wanted to extend it, we probably could to here. I don't think it's necessary, but if you take a peek at it, it gets it really well and good, guys. Basically, this is value area low at 46 cents. That's why we need to see that weekly closure. It does put some confirmation on there on that. You've got a really nice high value node here through this region. And then your point of control is coming in at that 67 cent mark. So again, very relevant. There's your daily order block for that. It's coming in right there as well. So that's really great to see. Anything above 72 cents. And it's a pretty much, you're above value area high. You do have another small range right here. But yeah, this would start to look pretty good. And so from here, how do you use this information? Really however you want. You can make mental notes. You can make notes on paper. You can do what I do and do this. And then you can see how well respected this range is now. Look at this range. You've got a perfect range that should we get back into this region, into the value area low here, we are going to be able to ignore these fibs kind of and just look for the point of control of the range. We got a median, value area high, value area low, and then you can trade this accordingly, just like we do Bitcoin. And we do the same up here. So I was looking for consolidations and breakdowns of certain levels, and I got exactly what I was looking for. So I took this from the 0.5 to the breakdown of the 0.236. And so it's a much larger region, but one thing that I did get out of that was the confluence of this value area low lining up really nicely with this 236 and that weekly order block we talked about at the 86 cent region. So again, now I'm marking off this level. And we've got some really nice ranges here, guys. And there's some gaps in between where you can see price action kind of floats around. But, those are areas I'm not expecting to live in. We may consolidate there shortly, but this is what I'd be looking for. And you can see nice respect, very nice respect, very, very nice. And then obviously we have nothing over here. So point of control of this coming in about $1.19, which I find interesting. Pretty close to the median of the channel, though, so it kind of does make sense. And, we could probably do the same for up here. Like I have no idea what would happen if we got all the way back up into this region. I don't know if this data would even be relevant. It's kind of like the Bitcoin data up in this area. So like from here to here, it's telling you your point of control is at about 275, right? And value area low coming in right at the golden pocket, of course, .66 at 222. So telling you basically anything over $2.75. And yeah, man, you've got pretty much price discovery going on at that point. But I would probably chalk that up to anything over $2.22. I think at that point, it's just you're going to go to probably $3. You got 276 here as a POC as the target, but I don't know why anyone would stop there. I don't know why it wouldn't just go to $3 as a psychological level, especially given how little time you spend up here. But yeah, guys, I'm not going to keep going because this is getting into really, really highly speculative territory. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. It went over a lot of information, so I do apologize if you didn't find all of it useful, but I did. I gave you guys 3 really good ranges right here. very well respected. The one that we're currently in that we need to break out of right here, you can see that. Get out of that range, what do? We're probably going to go test this range. If we can get into this range, we can expect 67 cents probably, somewhere in that region. And we'll see if we can't break out and get into this 86 cent to $1 area. But I'll be honest, I think that if we get up to that 67-cent region, even get into this range, I do think we're going to make it up to that 86-cent area. So just my opinion. Facts do matter though, so we'll see how it plays out. All right, it's been 25 minutes. Thanks for watching, guys. Gonna try to get you an Ethereum video out later today, also a Bitcoin video. So if you enjoyed these videos, again, thumbs up. Like the information. If you guys want to learn how to do this every day, get our charts, how we're trading it. My name for our private Discord is down below. Shoot me a message. I'll shoot you the info on it. You can see if you're a good fit, and I will catch you guys in the next one.